Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to assemble the Dashing Through the Snow train. Alright, so let's go ahead and see how to assemble this cute little train favor box. The top actually opens, and that's where you can put in some little treats or candy. There's tons of details on this little train, and you can choose to add as many or as few as you'd like. So I will show you the entire assembly, and you can get creative with embellishing yours. Alright, so I already have everything cut. There are dies for everything in the set, and you will only have to cut one of everything except for the box portion. This die is, there's just one in the set, so you'll have to cut it twice. But everything else, there should be enough dies where you can run it through just once and kind of cut down on the time it takes to die cut everything. I should mention the other exception to that are the little decorative panels. There are just one die for each of those different panel shapes, and so if you want to add those for embellishment, you'll have to cut multiples of those as well. So you'll also need 6 small brads if you want to attach your wheels with brads, as well as this little decorative piece here. You don't have to use brads, you can just glue it if you want to do that, and then add maybe just a little sequin or enamel dot or something to the tops of those. You could do that as well. But I will show you in the video today how to attach them with some small brads. Alright, so let's get started, and before you start assembling, if you're going to attach your wheels with brads, you're going to want to pierce some holes for those before you start assembling. It'll just be a little bit easier to attach everything. So go ahead and just position your wheels where they will go when everything is assembled, and then pierce some holes. The large wheels go on the box portion, and the smaller wheels go on the front rounded portion of the train. So I'm just laying those in place and piercing a hole in the center. Alright, so then the first thing we're going to assemble is the box portion, and we'll need to attach these two box sections together. I like to use liquid adhesive. You can use whatever works best for you. My favorite glue is this scrappy glue. It holds really well, it dries very quickly, but not quickly enough, or not so quickly that you can't move things around a little bit before it sets. So let's just give that a second to set, and then go ahead and just fold everything on the score lines. And then assemble it into a box by adhering that tab to the first panel, like so. Then we can close up the bottom flaps. There are some small flaps by the wheels. Those get folded in first. It just helps to make the bottom a little more sturdy. And I'm going to put some adhesive on those flaps first. And then I'll fold one of these flaps down over top. And I can go ahead and stick my hand inside to kind of secure those small flaps to the larger one. Then I can go ahead and put some adhesive on there, that larger flap, and go ahead and finish closing that up. So now you have an open box with wheels on the bottom. So just go ahead and set that part aside for now. Now we're going to go on to assembling the rounded portion of the front of the train. Go ahead and fold all of the flaps. Get some nice crisp creases. And then a pencil comes in handy at this part. I like to take my pencil and just kind of run it along my thumb to give this cardstock a little bit of a curve. Just makes it a little bit easier to get a nice curved edge on this portion of the train. Now I can go ahead and add some adhesive to those tabs. And start assembling. You want to try to get a nice tight curve around those flaps for a nice clean look. Once your glue is set on the one end, you can go ahead and do the same thing to the other side. That is the assembly for that portion, but you can go ahead and embellish it if you'd like. There are some embossed dotted strips that are designed to embellish this portion. You can go ahead and add those if you'd like. Alright, so the front and back of our train are both assembled, so now we can go ahead and attach them together. I'm just going to put some adhesive on this portion of the train, and then I will attach them together, lining up the bottom edges here and centering this smaller engine portion with the box portion. Now we can go ahead and attach our wheels and this little decorative wheel embellishment. So I'm going to take the little brads and I'm going to put that in first, and then that little bar, and then through the wheel and into the box portion. This is the larger wheels. Larger wheels go in the back. It just gets attached like that. And then you can go ahead and do that same thing with the smaller wheels and repeat on the other side as well. Okay, so all of our wheels are attached, and now we can finish it off by adding just a few more details. I have the roof of the box portion is this piece right here. You'll notice there is a longer flap and a shorter flap. You'll want to put some adhesive on the shorter flap, but before you do that, I also find it helps to do the pencil trick with your thumb on this piece as well to give it just a little bit of a curve. And go ahead and attach that shorter flap to one of the straight sides. You'll see there's a curved side and a straight side. Attach that smaller flap to one of the straight edges on the box portion of the train. And then that longer flap can just go ahead and get tucked inside. You can also add a little smokestack to your train. I'll go ahead and show you how to assemble that. Once again, the pencil comes in handy here to give this piece a little bit of a curve. There's a small flap here that you can fold and put some adhesive on. And then go ahead and bring those two together. My pinky fits just right in there, so I can secure that glue and make sure that that's nice and secure. There are some small flaps on the bottom, and those can get tucked in. That's what you'll use to attach it to the engine portion of the train. Here's the top of the smokestack, and that you can give a curve as well with the pencil. There's a small flap there that can get adhesive on there, and then go ahead and bring the end around and attach it to that flap. Now to attach the two pieces together, put a little bit of adhesive on the edge that does not have the flaps. You can use a little bit of score tape for this part as well, if you'd rather use score tape rather than liquid adhesive. Now I'm just going to take the cylinder portion and I'm going to drop it in to that cone portion, and I'm going to pull the cone part up gently until it runs into that adhesive around the edge. You don't want to pull it off, don't want to pull it all the way off, just up high enough so that it can catch that adhesive. And then once it's dry, it'll be nice and secure. Then you can go ahead and attach the smokestack to your train body just by putting some adhesive on those little tabs. Now you can add a few more embellishments if you'd like. There is this little portion of the train that can be added to the front. You can just go ahead and fold this tab forward, and then these little tabs on the side, the triangular shaped tabs, get folded back. I cut this from Luxe Gold cardstock, which is just perfect. It's just a really fun metallic holiday effect, and that just gets tucked right in there. You can add this little guy to the front. This die is included in the train set, and there are some sentiments in the Dashing Through the Snow sentiment set that coordinate with all these pieces from the train. There are a couple little things that'll fit in this circle. There's a 25 for Christmas, the 25th, and a little peppermint, and those would both fit on the front here. Can be added right up here. Would also be fun if you wanted to use this for a birthday. You could stamp some numbers in there from another set from your collection to stamp the age of the recipient on there. And then there are these decorative little panels that you can add to the sides and the front and the back. And there are some stamps in the sentiment set that match this as well. Here's a little special delivery one. It's kind of cute for Christmas. And then this part fits on the front. Just like that. So you can feel free to add as much or as little detail as you'd like. I hope you enjoyed this instructional video on assembling the Dashing Through the Snow train, and I hope you have fun putting a bunch of them together for yourself for this holiday season.